How fake got Chinese news anchors? If you wonder why do female anchors for China's state news programs have such thick and smooth hair, that's because they have been wearing wigs for decades. When they take off the wig, they are as pretty as any actress. This young anchor's hair looks so voluminous on stage. In fact, she used extensions to cover her thinning hair. Because the camera adds 10 pounds, Chinese reporters use tape to pull up their skin before putting on makeup. Her baby fats disappear and her face instantly becomes the desirable V-shape. Tape can also be used to cover up scars anywhere on the skin just like a concealer. If you feel insecure about your nose bridge, this anchor demonstrated that you just need to stuff nose pads into your nostrils and you'll instantly have a tall and straight nose.
已经是很完善的，包括像这种捏脸什么的，它都是一个常规操作。这个东西是不会破相的，就是包括什么戴口罩啊，或者这个吃个饭什么的。就比如说这个吃个饭，等一下我先把这个美颜关一下，不然的话等一下会影响。这个吃饭、喝水，然后什么摸脸，然后什么捏脸，这种都是不会影响到这个换脸的。这个其实是一个换脸的基本操作。那么什么是直播换脸？嘴型也是很有问题的，而且牙齿也不行。牙齿就是那么所以说这个直播换脸真正的难点其实还是这种什么皮肤细节啊，这些就我的模型就是能够把模型
In this video, we are going to jump straight into it. How fake is China? That's a very intriguing question one might ask. China's underground market, aka counterfeit operation, aka bootleg scheme has been around long before me, and I've been around for quite some time. And what I knew prior to this video is that we used to go to the flea market or swap meet, depending on what part of the United States you're from. You could get low quality DVDs, clothes, shoes, personal accessories like watches, wallets, handbags, NFL, NBA, MLB jerseys, hats, designer this and designer that. And the reason some people would go out their way to buy from a Chinese booth was because they had different colors for certain items that wasn't available in legit stores like Timberland, Nike, Adidas, etc. And that was basically the extent of what I knew about China's underground market. Now, don't get me wrong, that innovation in technology and AI is on another level. But the thing that blew my mind while looking into China's fake food culture was China itself. And what I mean by that is that copycat system, the best to ever do it on the planet. My concept for this video started off, as I mentioned earlier, as China's fake food industry. But TikTok felt that I shouldn't just be limited to that one specific topic. Some people may say that China is on the rise of becoming a superpower contender of the United States. Well, pretending to match America's power is something you can't fake. Just ask Vladimir Putin when the American government warned him not to invade Ukraine.
Here's where we are. There are two paths before us. There's a path of dialogue and diplomacy to try to resolve some of these differences and avoid a confrontation. The other path is confrontation and massive consequences for Russia if it renews its aggression on Ukraine.
There were even reports of China sending counterfeit cardboard armor plates in support of Russia. That went exactly how you expected it to go. So in this video, we're going to look into China's reputation for copying everything, and I mean everything. Some of the things in this video may surprise you.
This city in China produces 90% of the fake shoes in the world. But very few people know about it. Putian, Gucci, Air Jordan, Easy, whatever style is popular, they will copy it and sell to the world. But why Putian? Why this city? Many years ago, a bunch of Taiwanese businessmen came here and set up a bunch of shoe factories. They nearly monopolized all the production work for the big shoe brands in China. Not long, many factory workers discovered one thing. Branded shoes are so easy to sell and the profits were huge. So they decided to copy it and sell it themselves. After stealing the raw materials and design, they could make the cost as low as $5 per pair of shoes, but they can sell it at hundreds of dollars. The huge profit attracted more and more people to join the business in the city, and eventually it became the fake shoe capital of the world. In my opinion, it's just business. Authentic or fake, ethical or not.
So I'm currently at a market in China looking for some clothes, and look what I just found. House Star on the ground, House Star logo, Hellstar T, Hellstar World Tour. Let me find out this is actually a Hellstar store, but I don't think so. Yo, with the spray wash? This is actually good stuff. We end up finding, you know, a local brand from America just getting absolutely ripped. Yeah, wow. Basically, like every single product in the Hellstar catalog is right here getting bootlegs, which is crazy, man. What's up, shorty?
Shame.
Every foreign movie poster has a copycat in China. Storm City is a new Chinese movie featuring actor Eric Tsang. The movie poster is a straight replica of Dwayne Johnson's 2018 film Skyscraper. If you zoom in, it's obvious that they photoshopped the ring with glass shards, but they did a terrible job, so traces of the ring aren't erased completely. Netizen tease, this is just copy and paste. The Rock must be running. Are you handless? Compare the following posters. X-Men versus Chinese movie The Diary of Nuwa, Hollywood film Sherlock Holmes versus Chinese drama Detective Tang Lang. Even the genre is the same. The Ides of March versus this Chinese movie, Love Actually versus Chinese rom-com, Black Swan versus Chinese movie I Do. What's up with the white feather when the movie has nothing to do with Swan? Disney's Cars versus Chinese cartoon The Autobots, which was eventually sued by Disney.
Newport cigarettes are banned for sales in California for safety concerns, but you can still buy them at your local liquor store or smoke shop for $20. In a sinister twist of events, counterfeit Newport cigarettes are flooding into the United States from China, posing grave risks to public health. These illegal knockoffs are strategically targeting black and brown communities, exploiting their vulnerability. Packed with toxic chemicals and devoid of quality control, these deadly fakes are a ticking time bomb, triggering a surge in smoking-related illnesses among the most disadvantaged populations. Alarmingly, the profits from this illicit trade fund criminal organizations. Urgent action is needed to curb this insidious threat, protect public health, and dismantle the criminal networks responsible for this shocking epidemic. And for Pete and Hash 39, sake, stop buying cigarettes, period.
There's actually some historical precedence to this. Back in 2020, during the height of the pandemic, in South Korea, these images started coming out. It started with this image here with what looks like a normal sloth, but then people on the internet started noticing something weird. And then this image came out, and you'll definitely notice that there's something very weird about all the animals in this picture. And it wasn't until they caught one of the zoo animals eating and drinking what looks like human food that we actually discovered that several of the animals at this South Korean zoo were actually paid actors in suits. In fact, this got so much publicity that they actually made a documentary about it. And that film was called Secret Zoo.
A zoo in China is being accused of trying to trick visitors by using dogs for pandas by painting them black and white, with the zoo telling Chinese state media that they didn't mislead anyone because they are clearly advertised as panda dogs. But visitors have not been pleased, with one writing online, "This is not funny at all. Chow chows have fragile skin and thick coats which make them susceptible to skin disease." But then the zoo fired back saying the dogs weren't harmed and that if people can dye their hair, dogs can too because their fur is the same as hair. And all of this is in the past, Chinese people have accused their zoos of having fake animals, right? Sometimes using dogs as stand-ins for wolves or African cats, or last year accusing a zoo of putting a man in a sun bear suit.
Come on with the shenanigans, China. You really expected people to believe that it's normal to see a polar bear walking with two baby pandas to a concession stand while a gorilla and lion find seating in the food court area without question. Really?
Countries copy different nations' landmarks all the time. For example, there are 80 different replicas of the Eiffel Tower around the world, from Las Vegas in the United States to Lahore in Pakistan. But China took it a step further, copying entire cities. In today's video, we introduce you to the Paris of the East, China's copied version of London, and much more. Did you know that China built a man-made canal to replicate the Grand Canal in Venice? And that they rebuilt a small village in Austria almost 1-to-1?
So you may recognize this as Hallstatt, an extremely famous lakeside village in Austria, but what you may not realize is that this isn't actually Austria. It's China.
Do you even have an original thought?
In 2012, China completed a one-to-one replica of Hallstatt in the town of Luoyang. Rather than a real town, it's actually a luxury housing development for wealthy residents. The replica cost nearly $1 billion to build, and it includes many iconic parts of the real Hallstatt, including the town's famous church, its fountain, and all the little European-style houses. The crazy thing is that this is actually just one of a few projects in China meant to replicate other parts of the world. There's a copy of Jackson Hole, Wyoming in Hebei province, the Eiffel Tower in Tianducheng, and there's a couple of different European castles in Chongqing. There's even a replica of Venice in Dailan that freezes over every winter. The interesting thing about Hallstatt, China, though, is that the mayor of the real Hallstatt was at the grand opening and signed a declaration of cultural ties between the real village and the fake one in the future. Follow me if you want to hear about more weird places around the world.
China, and only China, is just built different, literally.
This event proves China can fake everything. Yuntai Mountain Waterfall is China's biggest waterfall and a huge tourist attraction. After a long 1,024-foot climb, one hiker managed to get to the top of the waterfall just to be disappointed. As it turns out, China's biggest waterfall was fake, and the water was fed through a pipe. When asked, the park officials explained the waterfall needed some enhancement in dry seasons to appear more beautiful to the tourists. They just never thought someone would reach the top. What do you think China will fake next?
The extent China is willing to go through in an attempt to create an illusion that's full of flaws is out of this world. They remind me of that scene from The Wizard of Oz when they pull back the curtains to reveal the man acting as the wizard. And if you think the Chinese couldn't be more extreme, then just check out these next two videos.
So China creates an artificial sun, and it burns 5 times hotter than the original sun in the sky. They spent over $1 trillion to make it, over 158 million degrees Fahrenheit? What's next, an artificial planet?
One video, which has been retweeted over 20,000 times, pictures a bright light ascending into the air followed by billows of smoke, with a crowd of onlookers on the beach avidly capturing the moment on their phones. The posts have since been debunked, as they reportedly picture a completely different event, the launch of a Chinese rocket a few weeks prior. Snopes reports that the video is likely to be from a launch from Wenchang Space Launch Center in Wenchang, Hainan, China. Another viral video, captioned "The moment China launched the artificial sun, as night turned into day," shows a similar ball of light, with its ascension taking place at night. Twitter users commented on the event, with many frightened by the possibility of a fake sun. China's actual experiment, which remains firmly on the ground at a nuclear fusion facility in Shanghai, is designed to hopefully one day create unlimited clean energy. The machine managed to reach temperatures of up to 70 million degrees Celsius. That means China's East machine can burn almost 5 times hotter than the thing that is literally keeping everyone on Earth alive.
This is the part of the video where morals, principles, standards, and value come into question. I'm just going to let this segment play out.
With 175 stores, Whole Foods is the undisputed leader in organic foods and promotes locally grown.
But wait! There's more!
But the I-Team has found that much of Whole Foods organics are imported from China.
Honestly, I would have never flipped it over to see that it was a product of China.
Spinach, sugar snap peas, and would you believe California blend vegetables? All listed under the Whole Foods brand 365 Organic, and on the back in small print, product of China. Organic ensures pesticide-free, environmentally friendly conditions. But how do we even know the food is organic? Food sold in this country must be approved by the U.S. Department of Agriculture before they can display the organic label.
The oversight that they have in China is not the same kind of supervision that we have in the United States.
But the USDA doesn't inspect imported foods. It certifies private inspectors to do the job. Whole Foods employs a company called Quality Assurance International. But the company confirms QAI has not certified any products in China. They rely on another certifier on the farm.
China fakes everything. This is part 3. These are black corn cobs a man bought, but after boiling one, it turns back into regular old yellow corn. And I guess you get free grape juice with it. Who knows what they use to paint the corn black, and corn cobs aren't the only thing that's painted. How about black pigs? Apparently they sell at a higher price if the pig meat is from a dark pig. And so they relegate to spray painting now? We're not done yet. Here is a meat vendor putting a red liquid all over the meat. Preservatives or additives, who knows? All I can say is that nothing is real. How about spraying cardboard so that they weigh more? And so the vendor can make more money per kilogram. This is what's happening when moral declines in a society.
Unbelievable fake foods discovered in China. Number 3 is fake eggs. They look like real eggs. They are made with gelatin, artificial food coloring, water, and a wax shell. You can identify a fake egg if it bounces out of the pan. Number 2 is plastic rice. There's been lots of plastic rice seized around the world. This is made from potatoes mixed with an industrial resin. Burn a grain to detect fake rice by the smell of burned plastic. Number 1 is cement walnuts. Vendors are emptying the walnut, then filling the empty shell with paper-covered cement and sealing it closed.
What the hell is even that?
What are they doing to fruit, especially watermelon? I bought this watermelon. I put a knife to it to cut it open and it burst. Had all this juice and slime in it. Disgusting. Open up this one and it was like rubber. It was disgusting, the texture. Oh my God. This was the most disgusting thing ever.
Listen, why do you think they giving out that much chicken? You really think they're gonna give out that much chicken? You know how much chicken costs by the pound now? Just last week somebody told me they paid $25 for a T-bone steak from Aldi's. Like, the prices of meat is going up and you think they giving away this much meat? This much chicken? Check out this video.
Did you know there are beauty filters for food in China? If you shop at a wet market, before you buy anything, look up and check if there's a light hanging on top of the food stall. These lights are called 生鲜灯, which literally means alive and fresh lamp. Red and cold white light combined is used in the poultry area to enhance the freshness of the meat. Green and positive white light combined is used in the vegetable area to make veggies look greener. And warm red light is used to make cooked food and barbecue look more appetizing. On Chinese shopping platforms, the lamps are marketed with slogans like "The secret of good business" and sold for less than $10 each. Many Chinese cities will start to ban the use of fresh fruit lamps starting on December 1st. You can turn on the flashlight on your phone, take a photo to check the real color of the meat. If you're buying pork, press down with your finger. The meat that rebounds faster is generally fresher. Some sellers will try to pass off water-injected meat or defrosted meat as fresh meat. Pat the meat with a paper towel. Fresh meat should have no water but a little grease. If you want to buy fresh fish, check its eyes. High-quality fresh fish should have clean eyes with black pupils. The eyes of fish that are sick or dying are often dull and grayish-white.
Este es el resultado. Esta impresora que les vamos a mostrar, dentro de lo que cabe, porque este corazón de la impresora no podemos enseñárselo, es totalmente confidencial. ¿Qué es lo que hace?
Esto lo que hace es depositar las células de carne y grasa de forma estratégica para que por el cabezal de impresión salgan los chuletones completamente realizados.
Por aquí me sale el chuletón.
Sí.
¿En cuánto tiempo?
8 kilos por minuto.
¿Se comería un chuletón salido de una impresora? Pues es lo que vamos a hacer, probarlo, pero no solo chuletones, también gambas, salmón, atún, incluso cerveza, todo impreso en máquinas 3D.
Hola chicos de Espejo Público, bienvenidos, aquí tenéis el primer chuletón impreso en 3D de la historia. Espero que os guste.
¿Y esto no me va a dar la sensación luego cuando lo pruebe que es como carne picada con forma de chuletón?
No.
Tiene su nervio, tiene su tendón, tiene su magro.
Y su grasa.
Y su grasa.
Es más, la grasa que tiene esta chuleta es grasa de cerdo ibérico.
Lo que están viendo es a esta impresora fabricar en este momento un chuletón. Está saliendo, lo están viendo, de ese molde. Y olvídense, no es un lomo de carne, es hecho a base de células madre.
Lo que buscamos es una forma alternativa de producir carne sin tener que matar vacas y de producir productos miméticos también basados en plantas, que son dos objetivos distintos.
Esto necesita por lo menos 5 minutos o 10.
Necesita 15.
15 minutos. ¿Es la primera vez que se hace chuletón de esta manera?
Sí.
¿Sí?
I rarely eat Chinese food, but the limited items that I may get, like shrimp fried rice or maybe 4 wings and fries, has me questioning everything about the American establishment. But with that said, I'm gonna leave you with this, and until next time, peace and I'm out.
Counterfeit goods are anything that infringes on a company's intellectual property rights, or IPR. Think fake Air Jordans, Rolexes, or Louis Vuitton purses. And because these products are trademarked, counterfeiting them is illegal.
You can just be guaranteed that your product is going to get counterfeited. It's just a matter of time.
Half of the counterfeit goods CBP seized in 2019 came through the mail from China, followed by Hong Kong and Singapore. Before a package ever lands in the US, CBP gathers intelligence on the sender, container, and aircraft. Using this intel and X-ray machines, CBP narrows down 1 million packages into the ones that'll get pulled for further inspection. Those suspicious packages will go straight to Steve. He'll start by looking at the box.
Well, I'm looking because I don't have my glasses on, so I'm cheating. The first, when it comes in, is the country of origin. Louis Vuitton, they're coming from France. The watch is coming from Switzerland. When it's coming from China, bing, that's your #1 red flag. The most common counterfeited handbag is Louis Vuitton. The most counterfeited sneaker is Nike Air Jordans. Here we have a Rolex watch.
But how does he know they're counterfeits? Well, brands train Steve on the telltale signs to spot a fake.
They'll sometimes send a kit, and the kit will include a genuine product. It will include a kind of a hit list as to what to look for.
Most of the hit list is kept top secret to protect the brand against counterfeiters. But Steve could share a few things.
Rolex would never put their watches in little Ziploc bags. They don't put these inside it, the silica gel. Rolex does not send to individuals in the United States. They only send to their retail stores. I have another package here. This one's coming from Thailand. We have an assortment of items here. We have Chanel eyewear, we have Gucci eyewear, watches, jewelry, Louis Vuitton pouch. High-end manufacturers like this never commingle their product.
But some aren't as easy to spot.
The quality is getting better. Sometimes these factories, especially in China, it's the same factory that's making the good for the brand owner is also making the counterfeits. And that's a real problem for the luxury brand owners.
Sometimes the brands themselves can't even tell the difference.
Some of the counterfeits are that good.
But whether it's a copycat of a product that's trademarked or not, counterfeits can be dangerous. That fake makeup, well, it can cause rashes, swellings, and burns.
They've had cadmium, arsenic, lead, and cyanide inside makeup, and it's disfigured people. Cadmium is in rechargeable batteries and control rods in nuclear reactors. Perfume. Laboratory tests have shown there's been horse urine in it.
Steve says fake safety equipment is even more alarming.
When it comes to automotive parts, that's a very big danger. Spark plugs, which can cause the engine to go on fire. Oil filters that cause instant damage to the engine. Airbags are a big thing.
That's something that you may not necessarily realize is something to even consider until you need that airbag and it doesn't go off in the protective way that it should. Counterfeit manufacturers have no regard to health or safety or who they hurt along the way. All they're concerned about is the bottom line.
In 2020, CBP seized over 26,000 packages for intellectual property rights violations. That's a total value of over $1 billion. Amazon's program is called Project Zero. When companies register for Amazon, they give information on their brands, trademarks, and listings. Using this data, Amazon's algorithm scans 5 billion products a day for signs of counterfeiting. It looks for things like blurry product photos, copycat product descriptions,
payment information. We look at price point. We look at reviews.
And if a listing turns out to be a counterfeit, Amazon will suspend the account. In 2019, Amazon blocked 6 billion suspected bad listings on its site. By 2022, the counterfeits industry is expected to suck $4.2 trillion from the global economy, and it could endanger over 5 million legitimate jobs.
Because we're dealing with a moving target, it's a challenging crime problem to address.
It grows every day, and it's because of consumer demand. People need to be educated more about the dangers. And the old saying, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.